Hello, everyone, and welcome to Community Connections 2022. We are live from Danvers Community Access Television. I'm here with John Call. John, it has been a couple years.
It certainly has. I can't believe when you just said we're live, it's like, wow, we are back in studio and producing again. That's great.
Yeah, it's great to be here. If you are turning in for the first time, or if you're a viewer of Community Connections Past, welcome. This is an event where we get to speak to a lot of awesome nonprofits in the Danvers area doing wonderful things for the community.
I know it's their opportunity to give us 10 minutes of their sales pitch so that they can get volunteers, so that they can get funding, so that they can get people to come to their events. It's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for so many organizations.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I didn't realize how much there was going on in Danvers in terms of nonprofit work. And when you watch a program like we have tonight, you really get to see all the different opportunities, all the different ways that you can get involved, you can help out. So if you're somebody who feels like you do have that urge, where you want to do something in the community, you're not quite sure, this is the perfect program, I promise, because you're gonna see people, you're gonna hear people who have wonderful stories to tell, wonderful opportunities to talk about, and it's just a great event to be a part of.
You're absolutely right. And the secondary beautiful element of that is that it gives you the diversity of watching all the different organizations. So it's not like you hear one and you say, okay, I'll volunteer for that, even though that may not be your passion. Right. Now you get to see a lot of them and say like, oh, that one really piques my interest. So so that's good.
Yeah, so it's perfect. I mean, as you said, everybody here gets their sort of spiel in terms of questions and answers. And I don't know about you, but at the end of the night, I always feel kind of rejuvenated. I just feel a little extra perk. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, and proud to be a citizen of Danvers. That's for sure.
Yeah, wonderful. All right, well, I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm ready to jump into some interviews. John.
All right, let's get going.
Okay, perfect. Well, just stay with us for just one more moment, folks. We're going to get ready, and we'll see you in just a minute. Welcome back, everyone. I'm here with Anna Mary from It's My Heart New England. Anna Mary, welcome to the program. I know you've been here in the past, and it's great to see you again.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Appreciate
yeah,
it.
absolutely. So I'd love it if we could just get kind of started off and just talk about It's My Heart New England, what your mission is.
Yeah, sure. So It's My Heart New England is a non-medical support group for families affected by congenital heart defects. Mm-hmm. We operate in and around New England. Our base is in Danvers. We host our big walk every year, which I'll tell you about a little bit later, at Endicott Park. But otherwise, our families are from all around New England, like I said. So we work with Children's Hospital in Boston. We work with Yale and Connecticut Children's Medical Center, Barbara Bush Center in Maine, with some hospitals out in Western Mass. And basically, we just support families. We do monthly events for them, like take them to the zoo, take them to Storyland, take them all kinds of places that they might not get to experience because they spend so much time in the hospital. And then we do fun monthly events.
That's great, yeah.
Like drawing event coming up this weekend. We do things.
There you go, a little teaser. I love that.
We turned everything virtual during the pandemic, but now we're trying to start to get back in person, so it's really nice.
Yeah, that's great. So you touched on CHD. So how many families are impacted by CHD, would you
say?
So
about 1 in 100.
Oh, okay.
So every 1 in 100 children are born with a CHD. Could range from something mild like a hole in the heart that closes itself, or something more critical like a single ventricle where they're born with basically half a heart. Mm-hmm. So a congenital heart defect is one you're born with. So often these kids need to have surgery. They spend a lot of time in the hospital. Mm-hmm. And that's where we come in, is to really like help them when they're not in the hospital and give them some memories and some fun and do some great activities with them.
Yeah, and it's even like the small things you touched on, that can mean so much to a family, when unfortunately they are dealing with something that just is out of their control, right? So yeah. It's great that you are able to kind of provide those opportunities. So I guess looking ahead, you touched on how we're kind of coming out of the pandemic, hopefully. Is there any sort of specific program that you would hope to highlight or you're looking forward to in particular coming up?
Yeah, we're really looking forward to. Today's the 26th. So 1 month from today, we have our annual walk, which is our big fundraising event for the year, but also a celebration of our families. It's a walk and family picnic. We host it at Endicott Park.
Okay.
So it's on June 26th, Sunday. You can find us at walk.itsmyheart.newengland.org, all one word. And sign up, register, come for the day. We have balloon artists, we have curious creatures, we have face painting. We really have a lunch. We really just make it a fun event for families that we say, hey, thank you for participating with us all year. Thanks for fundraising with us all year, or just for this event, or just come and just have fun with your families like we've been doing all year long, but this year in person for the first time in 3 years.
In person. That's it. Just it brings a different energy, right? It just has a lot more to it. All right, so a big part of why folks are here today, I talked about earlier with John, is we really want to let people know kind of how they can get involved. So what are some ways that you would recommend for somebody who is watching at home who says, hey, that sounds like something I'm interested in?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we love volunteers. So that's a really good question. You can volunteer virtually, and now you can volunteer in person. We're looking for great walker volunteers to help us set things up, to keep things running, keep things smooth for the day. But we also love volunteers that do things virtually for us. So help us with our outreach programs at hospitals, just getting information about congenital heart defects into the smaller hospitals, into the smaller doctors' offices, where they might not be aware that there's some resources available for these families who sometimes feel like really alone. They think, oh, I'm the only one that has this going on. But no, there's a world of people that can sympathize, can empathize, can help you and build your community and really just be there to support you. So having volunteers help us do those things is just immeasurable. So if you want to stay home and volunteer, we have opportunities for that. And if you want to come out with us, we have opportunities for that. You can go to our website, which is www.itsmyheartnewengland.org, and find those opportunities, or find a connection on Facebook with us, and we will get you set up.
Perfect. So we have just a moment left. I don't know if you have any other sort of events that you'd like to highlight coming up, or do you feel like...
No, the walk is our big one, and
Yeah,
then in the fall
that's
we'll
awesome.
bring back we do have an awesome craft fair, usually also in Danvers. We haven't picked the location yet, so I can't disclose that, but we have an awesome craft fair where we bring local vendors around and just have a lot of fun doing that too.
Awesome.
So-
Well, Anna Mary, thank you so much for
Thank
coming by,
you.
spending some time with us. It's myheartnewengland.org, if I remember correctly, is the
Yes.
website. If you are interested in learning more, reach out. I mean, she mentioned, how there are different ways to get involved. You don't necessarily need to be in person. There's virtual opportunities as well. So it's Anna Mary, thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great
All right.
night.
Let's send it over to John now.
Thank you, David, and thank you, Anna Mary. They have great events. They have a walk coming up, and also a blood donation opportunity. I always try and give blood to that. So great organization. I am joined here right now with Heather Johnston from Habitat for Humanity, Essex County. Welcome.
Thank you. We're happy to be here and share a little bit about what we do and how people can get involved.
Excellent. Those are my two main questions. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Habitat for Humanity? I'm sure everybody's heard about it, knows a little bit about the organization, but probably not a lot. And then if you can, move into how people can apply to become a homeowner.
Absolutely. So Habitat for Humanity, we are local right here in Essex County. Neighbors with DCAT, our office is right down the street, but we serve all 34 cities and towns within Essex County. Some of you may have known North Shore Habitat and then Merrimack Valley Habitat. Well, the two formed Essex County Habitat back in November of 2020 to expand our bandwidth and to be able to have more homes available for people looking for affordable home ownership opportunities throughout Essex County. And we all know how expensive it is to live and housing costs. So it is a great thing to be able to offer more homes per year throughout the county. Like I said, homeowners can become a homeowner by going to our website, checking out when we have different family information nights, where the current projects are happening. Currently, there's projects in Lawrence, Salisbury, Hamilton, Peabody, and in Lynn. And a homeowner or a future homeowner, someone who looking to have a Habitat home, would find the application process, find the family information night for the community that works for them, and come hear about it, learn about what the process is, meet our Director of Affordable Housing, fill out an application, and then from there, there's a selection process with our Family Selection Committee. There is a financial screening, But perhaps the biggest thing is the partnership between families and Habitat. There's a big part of that where families partner with us on sweat equity hours. So families are committing to anywhere from 240 to 360 hours, depending upon how adults are in the household. And what that means is instead of a down payment for a home, they're putting their down payment in sweat equity hours. They're coming to the site. They're helping to build that home. So the volunteers that are on site, along with the construction crew, really get to know these homeowners. And the homeowners are there on a weekly basis, helping to build the home, learning skills that will be applicable when they are homeowners. So learning about that, and it's not for everyone. Everyone has different things going on at different points in their lives. So if that works for a future homeowner, if the financial screening goes through, then it in the end becomes a lottery that we do for that particular property, and people are chosen based on their family needs and number of bedrooms and things like that.
Gotcha. So those 360 hours you mentioned, how long does that typically take in months?
So it depends on how someone breaks it up. If they were coming one shift every Saturday, we had a homeowner recently who moved in last summer in Wenham, and they fulfilled those hours by coming every Saturday. She was on site every Saturday. So that took pretty much the length of the process. She was doing around 240 hours, being the only adult in the household. But that was about 15 months or so.
And
but
that's typical, the 15 months is typical cycle?
When there's not a pandemic, yes. Or shortage supplies or shipping delays or things like that. What a family can do as well is they can encourage their coworkers to come. They can encourage family, friends, neighbors, houses of worship. Any way they can get some friends and family to come, and up to 100 of those hours will count towards their sweat equity hours.
Gotcha.
So it really can be all encompassing and getting their whole community around them. But
Excellent.
speaking about the timelines, yes, when there's not too many other worldly things going on to delay us, it can be about 15 to 18 months that construction takes.
Good. And you also have another program, Aging in Place. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So most people probably know us by new construction, and you hear about Habitat building brand new homes and people moving into them. Aging in Place is a program where we have piloted so far, and we are launching further homes this summer. The first home is in Lynn, and it's an Aging in Place program where we go in and we assess someone's home and we find out what they need to do to age in place in that home comfortably. So low-income seniors who are looking for an affordable way to age in place and be safe, we can go in and we can offer some of that work to be done so they can do that. The home in Lynn is a disabled Vietnam vet who we're currently working on.
Excellent. Very good. Both very, very good programs. You're doing marvelous, marvelous work. Thank you so much for all that you do. Everybody, please go to their website, check it out, check out all the opportunities for you there. And Heather, thanks for coming in today.
You're
and
welcome.
Have a wonderful year and hopefully non-pandemic.
Thank you. Let's hope.
David, over to you.
Thank you, John. Yeah, I've had the opportunity to film some of the build sites over at Habitat, and it is really great to just kind of see the families put in that work, and then when they have the finished product, it really is an awesome experience. All right, so I'm here with Cody from NAGLI. Cody, welcome to the program. I hope you are well.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Yeah, so I was wondering if you could just kind of start off for those who aren't familiar at home with what NAGLI is.
Yeah, so NAGLI is the North Shore Alliance for LGBTQ youth. It's in Salem, Mass, and basically it's a safe space for any LGBTQ youth 14 through 23 that just needs a place to go and be themselves, whether they're out to their friends and family or not and they just want to see what it's like, or find other peers that they can relate to and not feel so alone. We also have volunteers always there that are there for them to ask for help or any questions. We have a bunch of different programs that we run. So it's a really good place for youth to be able to express themselves freely and feel safe while doing so.
Yeah, I mean, feeling safe. I'm sure that's the key word. You love to focus on, because you do want people to feel as though that they are welcome, right? That they are a part of a community, and they don't necessarily feel like they need to hide. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so do you have any sort of events or anything like that coming up that people can potentially look forward to?
Yeah, so June being Pride Month is pretty packed with a lot of events in different towns. We'll be tabling at a lot of them, but right now at the NAGLI Center on the 28th, so this Saturday, there will be a dance for LGBTQ youth. Anyone is welcome. If you want to show up, you can. You can also go to the NAGLI website, and you'll see a list of all the events that we have going on and all the programs that we offer. But for June, we will be at most of the Pride events happening around Salem and things like that.
Awesome. One thing I find as I interview people is that they are passionate about the organization they're affiliated with. What is something that you love about kind of what you do at NAGLI?
So I only recently started volunteering with NAGLI,
Okay.
but I think being able to go in and see a safe space for LGBT youth that most people don't really know exists, but being there for them and being able to help them through things that I've gone through and I've seen friends go through. So I think my favorite part is definitely just helping those kids grow and feel comfortable with who they are and feel comfortable with trying different things and opening up more to their peers and other people that can help them when they may be alone.
Yeah, and I'm sure you could touch on it better than I can, but just when you're in those situations, just having somebody you can talk to can just be the world of difference.
Exactly.
Yeah. So again, we talked about it before. If folks are interested in kind of getting involved, what is the best way you recommend?
So I would go to the website, and there's some emails on there. You can email Tony. He is the program director, and he is the guy to go to for really anything. But you can volunteer. There's different types of volunteer work. You can do the outreach program, which is what I'm doing, and that's basically just going out, talking to schools, talking to people, giving out information.
Okay.
And then you can also do like peer leader support, which you're at the location and you're there to help the kids that are there for like drop-in hours or anything like that. And then there's like social media ones.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, is there anything else you'd like to, I guess, something you'd like to bring up in terms of with NAGLI?
Yeah, so I think one of the coolest things is those drop-in hours.
Yeah.
It's just a time where you can just go in and do whatever you want. Like, you can do art, you can watch TV, you can play video games. Like, we have a whole area just for people to hang out and talk to each other. And on top of that, we have different programs going on. We have Transcendence every Friday, which is for the trans youth that want to meet other people that are transgender and kind of figure things out. We have the middle school group on Mondays, and then we have the Roots group on Tuesdays, which is basically teaching different life skills to the youth and helping them through things.
That's wonderful. So there's a lot going on with NAGLI. And again, one of the key words that Cody used was just having a safe space for those who feel as though they need it. So Cody, thank you so much for joining us this evening, and
Thank
we really
you for
do
having
appreciate it.
me.
Absolutely. So John, it looks like you have some friends from the Human Rights and Inclusion Committee. Is that correct?
Absolutely, that's correct. Friends for many years. I'm joined by Dee and Jasmine from the Danvers Human Rights and Inclusion Committee, and this is a committee that's been in town for a long time.
Since 1994.
1994, there you go. So it is a wonderful committee, but maybe everybody in Danvers doesn't know all about it. So if you could give us a little brief history, a little background.
Sure. Just a quick correction. I'm from the Human Rights and Inclusion Committee, and Jasmine is our first DEI for the town of Denver. So
Aha, there
just
you
a quick
go.
correction.
I knew
yes.
she was a new face. I just didn't know from what committee.
That's okay.
Welcome and congratulations, by the way.
So the committee was created in 1994. It's a cohesive task force against homophobia, anti-Semitism, intolerance, discrimination, racism, orderism, you name it. And members are appointed by the select board for a 3-year term. And basically, we want to create an atmosphere where everyone feels included and welcome in town. So it was actually originally created as a result of some anti-Semitic graffitis that were found on one of the elementary schools in town. And we've been in existence since.
Wow, so that happened back in 1994, and that happened just last year as well.
That's right. So it's a journey.
Yeah.
I know we're making progress, but we still have a lot of work to do.
But, so that brings up an excellent point in that I think a lot of people would look around Danvers and say, why do we have a need for a Human Rights and Inclusion Committee or a Diversity Committee or any of that? And yet, if you can talk about the most recent issues, I mean,
I don't know if I want to talk about the most recent issues, but yeah.
The fact that we need that.
That's right. Every single city and town needs a committee like this because we want to be proactive. We want to create what I used to call safe space, but until Jasmine got on board, I now call it a brave space. We want to create as many brave spaces as possible for residents in town who feel marginalized, that their voices are lifted.
Yep.
So we believe that this is a committee that's needed in every single corner of our country.
Yeah, I think I can agree with you 100% on that. In that, I like what you said there about people that feel minimalized or marginalized. I think there's a lot of people who just put up with however they're treated, and that's wrong. Whether they feel that they can't make a difference or they can't change someone's behavior, or they've just lived so long accepting it that that's their way of life now, and that's wrong. Everybody needs to know that they can be brave and that they can create awareness and can make a difference.
Definitely, and we want to create these spaces where those voices are lifted.
Yeah, excellent. So Jasmine, tell me about your new job and your new committee.
I'll tell you a little bit. I know that I'm going to have another segment with DCAT later in the next month. I don't know. But yeah, so as Director of Equity and Inclusion, I'm basically tasked to support the town, the schools, and the library in pretty much all things related to DEI. So I'm there to offer advice, support. I'm here to connect people who need to be in the same spaces together to do exactly what Dee mentioned, which is to again, uplift and elevate the voices of the people in this community who might not feel heard, as well as making sure that we're working together to make Danvers a more welcoming place, as welcoming as possible. So for the person out there who might say, I don't know why we need this work, I would say, if you think we don't need this work, and that means you're having a wonderful, incredible time here, that's amazing. Now help me to ensure that everyone here has that experience.
Right.
You can be the model for that. And so this is really what I've been here doing, and it requires a lot of listening, and I've been doing that as well. And it's been a blast, honestly. I've met so many people.
You've been here about 6 weeks, maybe?
6 weeks, yep.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, good for you.
Thank
Good for
you.
you. So let's talk about how people can get involved in either way to help you or programs.
Well, we're always encouraging residents to get involved. We need to hear from people. We meet the third Thursday of every month at 7 p.m. We are now meeting at the Town Hall Attorney Rooms. In the past, we were meeting at the police station. Meetings are open to the public. We do have a lot of upcoming events. We really encourage people to check the town website. We have on 6/2, we're going to be raising the pride flag at 5:45 at the 4:45, pardon me, at the police station, and 5 o'clock at Town Hall. And then on 6/5, we're having our first ever Pride picnic at the Library Pavilion. It's going to be a great event. And in between, we do have the Hue event on 6/4. Jasmine, you can speak of that a little bit.
Sure. So the Healing and Unity experience that's happening on June 4th from 10 to 2 at the Danvers High School is an opportunity to bring the community together for a variety of events, activities, cultural experiences, food. Don't forget the food. Really, again, just to come together as a community to think about what it feels like to be together and bring positivity back to the town and really build those connections with one another intentionally. And so I'm really excited about that. I know both of us have our own tables. I'm doing a flower power identity exploration activity. So that's an opportunity for us to think about what identities we have and what language we use to talk about ourselves, and then make a pretty flower out of it. And so that's going to be a great time. I encourage folks to pre-register so that you can secure your food ticket. And there's going to be different food trucks, tacos, empanadas. I think there's ice cream. A bunch of things going on, so it should be a really good time.
Yeah, and it'll be a really good opportunity to celebrate the cultural differences that we have in town, right? Those differences don't have to be shy. We don't have to shy away from them. We actually have to embrace them and celebrate them.
Right. You're absolutely right. Doesn't matter where you come from, how you got here. We are all one community. We need to live like it and act like it and support each other.
You just made me have to quote Dr. King. We may have come from different ships, but we are on the same boat now.
Hey, there you go. Very good. Well, so go to the town's website if you would like to learn more about either one of these organizations. And I keep calling yours an organization, but it's really a job. But I'm sure you can use help, right? A department. There you go. And and see how you can get involved, see what events they have coming up, and see what you can do to make Danvers a more welcoming, more inclusive, better community.
And it would definitely take all of us. Every one of us have something to give. Please, let's show visible support to the people who are marginalized.
Amen to that. Thanks for coming in, both of you. And Jasmine, best of luck in your new position.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
David, over to you.
Thank you, John. I'm here with Sam from North Shore Pride. Sam, so welcome to the program, first off.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. No, happy to have you. So this is going to be the first North Shore Pride since 2019, if I'm correct.
Absolutely.
And I was wondering if you could just talk about what sort of events are coming up in the year that people can look forward to.
Absolutely. This really is the first North Shore Pride since 2019. We have a full lineup. On the 23rd, we have our interfaith service to support our LGBTQ religious community. The next day, we have our seniors dance to celebrate our senior community. Then we go right into the festival. We have our parade, our vendors, our talent lineup. We have an after party. We also have a youth after party. And then on the 26th of June, we have our drag brunch, which is an annual hit for so many in our community. And we really just wanted to provide different opportunities and points for people to engage at different aspects of the festival.
That's wonderful. Yeah. So, I mean, you touched on it there just in terms of helping those in terms of different age groups, right? Because that is key, because you don't necessarily want to alienate folks, for one. You want people to feel inclusive. You want people to feel involved. You want people to feel welcome, right? That's a big part of it. All right, so my understanding, Sam, is that you are the new Senior Diversity Officer with North Shore Pride. Yes. I was wondering if you could talk about kind of where this position came from and your background with it.
Absolutely. So this is a new officer position on our board of directors. It is a volunteer position. I think the fact that North Shore Pride invested its resources to recruit diversity talent for this position speaks to the commitment. Mm-hmm. Generally, when you see a Senior Diversity Officer role created, it's in response to something not so positive. But in this case, the organization is really doubling down on its commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion across the North Shore. We want to ensure that Pride is accessible to all people in our community, whether you're in the community or an ally, no matter your circumstances, your ability or disability status, the languages you speak, your age, where you come from. We want to ensure that you can celebrate Pride. I have a background in education, former public high school teacher. I've worked in diversity and inclusion and LGBTQ support across the U.S. Most recently in Atlanta, Georgia, with North Shore Pride, or with Atlanta Pride as their inaugural diversity officer, and as well as with Teach for America with their National Prism Alliances. I currently lead LGBTQ programs here at Salem State University in Salem, Massachusetts, and serve as the co-chair of the Salem Human Rights Coalition. When North Shore Pride reached out to me for this opportunity, I jumped at it, really wanted to help this great organization as the leading and primary LGBTQ festival in the region to support these efforts.
So one thing you said early on there was the aspect of this position was created to kind of double down on efforts as opposed to a response, which is something you do see a lot, unfortunately, right? Something people realize there is an issue, and as a result, there's a response of, we have to kind of solve for what that issue was, as opposed to getting out in front of it and really just kind of taking charge and saying, okay, we may not see an immediate issue, we may not see an immediate problem, but let's make sure that that whatever that problem would be doesn't occur.
Absolutely. And we know that the landscape for the Pride community changes every day. And as you mentioned, we just want to be at the forefront of that work.
All right, so one thing I love asking folks who do come here today, because what I find is a lot of people who are involved with these organizations, they have a passion, right? They do it for a reason. They're not just doing it because, like they're bored on a Friday night. What is it that you find that you enjoy most or love most about working with North Shore Pride?
I think with North Shore Pride, just as our lineup for the festival is extremely diverse and there's a lot of opportunities for engagement, it's not just a summer Pride festival. You see workshops nationally and locally with North Shore Pride that we do to come into our community to connect our community members to resources. We're not just an entertainment hub or a festival that some of the for-profit national festivals are. We're really here to meet the needs of the community, to bring the interests that our community members have to them, and to support them year-round. And again, no matter your age, no matter your socioeconomic status, where you come from, languages, there's an opportunity for everyone in our community. We get creative even through the pandemic. We didn't just shut down. We had virtual workshops, like I mentioned, with even folks overseas to bring great opportunities for folks to learn and to invest in the Pride community.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I mean, you talked about I think the important thing for folks to note at home as well is that this is a year-round commitment, right? It's not just for the month of June, which I know we've had Hope in the past here in different programs at DCAT. She's a good friend of the DCAT family, so she's touched on different events in the past as well. All right, so one of the biggest involvements with tonight is we want people to make sure that they have a way to get out there, right? Because they hear Sam speak and they say, wow, like that's, I'd love to support how I can. What is a way that you recommend folks get involved if they are interested?
Absolutely. We are an entirely volunteer organization, and I think that's really important to state. Even our entire board of directors is all volunteer. We can't do this work without the help and support of volunteers, and our volunteer training meeting is coming up in early June at the Derby in Salem, Massachusetts. If you go onto our website at northshorepride.org, you'll see a Volunteer With Us link, and you can register and sign up for updates and information to come to that training. And we'll talk all about opportunities for the festival, whether you can actually support the parade or if it's some of our pre-events with the interfaith service or post-events with the drag brunch, as well as if you say, hey, I can't make the festival this year, totally fine. That type of engagement can also sign you up for opportunities throughout the rest of the year, like those workshops, like those resource fairs that we talked about, and to bring in speakers and guests as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned there as well how it's volunteer based, right? So these are, again, I can't reinforce enough how these are people who are passionate. You're not just going to walk in and there's going to be a bunch of people who are like, oh, I had nothing to do.
Absolutely.
I was bored, so I kind of stopped by. These are people who are doing this for a mission. They're doing it for a reason. So Sam, thank you so much for stopping by today. We do appreciate it. So if you are interested, once again, check out, I think there's a website up there, northshorepride.org. And thanks again, Sam, for stopping by.
Thank you.
All right, send it over to John now.
Thank you, David. Thank you, Sam. Great organization. I'm joined here with Walter and Julie from Grateful Friends. Welcome. Thanks for coming.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Pleasure. Can you tell Danvers a little bit about Grateful Friends so that they know more about you?
Great, I'd love to. Grateful Friends is a cancer charity, and we support adults going through cancer treatment in Essex and Middlesex County. There's definitely a huge need for that in those areas. About 20,000 people are currently undergoing treatment. We obviously don't serve all of them.
Wow.
But that's a big number, and so we try to provide comfort and support to those people. I think we started with our Grateful Friends as two Grateful Friends, and that's Lee and Gwen, who were two friends, had cancer together at the same time. They had the means to kind of support themselves, and bills were paid, and they kind of got through it. But when they got through it, they realized the need that was out there in the community for people who don't have that means, don't have the family support. And then Grateful Friends was founded to help provide that support.
That's excellent. How do you create funding? Do you have fundraising events? Do you have activities that people can participate in?
Yeah, so we do have a fundraising event coming up on June 9th, a special evening with Grateful Friends. It's in Topsfield, and you can get tickets to that event on our website. It's on the screen.
It's on the screen, yeah.
Yes, so I don't have to say it. And so Grateful Friends has two programs basically with very short one-page applications. Our first program is the Peace of Mind program. That provides financial assistance to help someone undergoing cancer treatments pay a bill. We've paid someone's gas bill. And or other bills. So we give financial assistance, and usually it's through social workers at the hospital. They help the patients. They determine that need, and they help the client fill out the simple one-page application. And there's a very quick turnaround in these applications since we're a smaller charity and very local. The second thing we do is we have comfort baskets. We provide comfort baskets for the patients and who are undergoing undergoing cancer treatments. And the baskets are gender and treatment specific. So the application is going to ask you gender, and it's going to ask you if you're undergoing chemo, radiation, or surgery, or any combination thereof. So the basket can be tailored for things that you may need, that you don't even know you need yet.
Right.
This is the thing, and giving out those baskets people are so thankful.
Yeah. Well, I can imagine. I know that your world changes when you hear that word. And so your mind starts spinning in a million things through the whole process, and it's easy to forget all the simple things in life that you may need on a regular basis, and just simply forget about because you're so overwhelmed with everything else you have to do to stay alive.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks.
And so the people that are eligible fill out this application, and then how is the support provided to them, and is it provided over a longer period of time, or is it a one-time event?
They're
or-
one-time small grants of up to $750. We give back directly $5,000 a month to the community through those small peace of mind grants.
Yeah.
So it's really a one-time opportunity. It's not to say that somebody couldn't apply twice if the need was there.
Right.
But it's not an ongoing necessarily support.
Yeah.
And then the comfort basket obviously is hopefully gets them through their rounds of treatment. You know, those things like cold caps for your head if you're going, you know, special cream if you have radiation treatments to, you know, soothe the treatment area.
Yep.
And so hopefully those things last throughout the treatment.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Good. Excuse me. How can people get involved in your organization? What are you looking for from tonight in people knowing about Grateful Friends?
So, you know, Julie let you know about the event. So obviously if somebody wanted to come to the event, we still have tickets available. That's at Connemara House Farm in Topsfield. So nice location, nice night, food, drink, you know.
Complimentary beer and wine.
Yep.
Complimentary beer and wine.
Can't go wrong.
Buy your tickets.
You know, we do have volunteer opportunities. So those comfort baskets, they don't make themselves. So
Right.
we have a little crew that does that, and we have somebody leading that crew. But we can always use help there. And then on the website that's up there, you know, we have the opportunity to donate on a one-time or ongoing basis. So you know, I'm signed up for the 12 months. It comes out. You know, you get that little bit that comes out. You don't miss it, but it really is
Makes a
impactful.
difference, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, the
And
small $25 a month donations are awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then generally we have a once-a-month sponsor, so a business would sponsor a month of comfort baskets, for example. And so we've been pretty successful doing that as well.
That's excellent. Excellent. You're doing great work. Thanks so much for coming in and telling Danvers all about this. We wish you the best of luck with everything that you're doing, and I hope your event goes off smashingly and you sell out quickly.
Thanks, appreciate
Hopefully
it.
just after tonight.
Sounds good.
Great.
Thanks
Yes.
again.
Thanks.
Thank you.
David, over to you. I see one of my friends sitting over there, but she wears so many hats, I'm not sure what she's going to talk to you about. So good luck.
Oh, did you say you were friends with her, John? She said something else back. But we can leave that for another
cruelty,
time. No,
cruelty.
I'm just messing. All right, so I'm here with the wonderful Gayla Bartlett. So, Gayla, welcome to Community Connections. And if you're wondering what hat Gayla's wearing tonight, it's the DCAT hat right now, if I am correct.
The DCAT hat. We're very excited.
Yes.
You want to tell them why we're
Oh, I-
excited,
I
David?
can
Because I'm
absolutely-
more
I-
than excited, David.
Yeah, I can spill the beans. So coming up, and I don't want to mess up the information, so I'm going to look at the piece of paper right now. So we have our second annual trivia night, if that is correct, as I drop the piece of paper.
That is correct.
That is Thursday, June
June
16th.
16th.
At 6 p.m. We're going to Breakaway. We were there last time. It's a wonderful space. If you have not been to Breakaway, they are very kind to us, very nice to us. So thank you to Breakaway for giving us a space. And it's an opportunity to have fun, right? Do some trivia. Bring a group of friends, bring a group of coworkers. It's an event that's free for members, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so if you are not a member of DCAT, it's $10. And if you are a member, it's free,
There you go.
which is very exciting. We haven't done this for a while, so we're so excited. I don't know if it's fair to say, but they tested the trivia questions on us here at the staff. And, well, let's say I got 2 right out of 100. So I'm not a trivia buff, so the rest of the crew got them all right, and I got 2 right. So obviously I'm not on a trivia team, which is probably a really good thing, because I don't think I could do it. But everybody else seems to be really good at it.
Well, you know, it depends. I mean, that's the beauty of trivia, and I think so. We come up with the questions here in house. We have an esteemed team of Greg, Ben, and Ethan, kind of circulating all the questions. They pass them around to make sure that there are just a good variety is I guess the best way to explain it, right? Because we don't want people to feel alienated. So I can assure you, regardless of what sort of age, demographic you are, or just experience or music preference, movie preference, entertainment sort of preference, there's going to be potentially a question for you to get involved with. There are different kinds of questions as well. So one thing that I know that are big man upstairs, Greg, loves to kind of harp on is that it's great to have questions with multiple tiers to them, right? So that way you can get part of a question right. So it's a great way to get involved. There's going to be prizes. I forget if you mentioned that. There's going to be just ways actually at the event, which is important.
Do we ever not have prizes? We have to have prizes.
If we
It's
don't
no
have
fun without prizes.
If we don't have prizes, I'm not going. I'll be
Okay,
honest.
we have prizes. You can come. We have prizes. And we have lots of raffle baskets. So this year we've added the raffle baskets in because, you know, sometimes you might not win a prize for trivia, but if you win a raffle basket, then you still go home with something magical, right?
That's the plan. So
It's all magic. We're very excited.
we are.
And the breakaway's fun. Last time we were in the room with the stage set up and everything. This year we are going to be upstairs. And I love the upstairs area. It's beautiful. It has a nice open feel, so you won't be claustrophobic.
Yeah, I haven't seen the upstairs space, but I am excited about that because I know it's a sneaky big building, I guess is the way I like to explain it, right? It feels, I don't know if I'm the only one who feels that way when I walked
I'm going to
in.
knock on the door to get in.
I don't
It's
know.
okay.
You
I
tell
thought it
me.
was
That's
funny.
fine.
Yeah, and also there. Don't forget, if you're coming and you want to come with your group, it's a great team building activity. So what fun is it? You can bring 1 or 2 teams from your work. You guys can compete. It's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking for a low-key, low-budget team outing, team building event, this is it. And it's local, and it's in a local business, and supporting DCAT, which is a nonprofit as well. And I think a lot of people forget that we're a nonprofit organization too.
Yeah, what does DCAT do, actually? I work here. I should probably know this, but Gayla, I don't know if you have any idea as to what we do here.
What do we do? He's cute.
I can answer that. So, so we are a PEG access
You mean
station.
besides magic and events and
Yeah.
things for our members?
Correct. Yeah. So we're out in the community, I guess is the easiest way to say that, right? We're a PEG station. So the PEG is an acronym, PEG. P stands for public. So we help members in the community. That's usually where I come in. So I help private citizens, local nonprofit organizations really help their TV or media dreams become a reality. So it's where I come in. I give trainings. I work with people who have never touched a camera in their life, never touched a microphone. And I show them, hey, this is the camera, this is the power button, this is kind of where all the fun kicks in. And we are involved in the school system, right? Our own Ben Thomas works with the high school as well as the elementary and middle school. G stands for government, so our own Ethan is involved with government programming, different select board meetings, working with the different organizations as well that are part of town government. So we have fun, I guess is the short story. Too long didn't read version is we have fun here.
Yeah, and we do a lot of cool shows with nonprofits, and I think I know that that's something that you and I love to produce. Our shows about nonprofits,
Right.
because we're talking to people in our community that are helping our community. And without the nonprofits in our community, we really wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
I mean, those nonprofits are crucial. They help so many, and that's why we're so proud to be able to showcase so many different nonprofits here tonight.
Yeah, and if I can see correctly, it looks like John is with another member of a nonprofit, somebody who's been on a program before, if I recall.
I think we've interviewed her a couple of times because I'm a big fan favorite of her. So.
Yeah. Well, let's send it over to John for more information.
All right, thank you, David. And I have to, before I introduce Sarah, I'm going to say that I'm a huge fan of DCAT. I think it is the hidden jewel in Danvers, and it does so much good. This group here is the hardest working group of people I've been associated with in a long time, so I'll pat them all on their back right now. So, and I'm with Sarah Stanley from HAWC, HAWC, Helping Abused Women and Children. Correct?
That is our former name. You're right. That was our former name. We have since changed our name to the acronym Healing Abuse Working for Change.
I like that better.
Yeah, and that's to signify that we support all survivors, men, women, non-binary folks. Everyone can come to us for help.
Excellent. So why don't you tell Danvers a little bit about your organization in case they don't know?
Yeah. So I'm so glad to be here tonight on DCAT. Some of my favorite people in the world work here at DCAT, and we here at HAWC, we serve 23 cities and towns on the North Shore, including Danvers. We support survivors of domestic abuse. We have an emergency shelter. We have free legal services. We provide one-on-one advocacy and services for children who are impacted by domestic violence.
Oh, that's a lot. So let's assume that I think I know someone who is in a domestic violence situation, whether or not I know that for a fact or it's just something that I'm sensing. How do I get them help? How do I bring that up? What do I do?
Yeah, I love that question because HAWC is just one piece of the puzzle. You and everyone else out watching the show tonight are the other pieces of the puzzle. The best thing you can do is to ask that person, how are you doing? Would you like to chat? Would you like to have coffee? And sometimes the answer will be no, but just to open that door and let them know. And, once that door is open, to show unconditional support. Sometimes you might not agree with maybe the path they're choosing for their safety, but trusting them as the experts in their own safety to be there with unconditional support.
Yeah, they're living their own life. I can't live it for them. So you're right. They have to make the choice.
Right, and there's lots of trade-offs to be taken when you're trying to figure out how to become safer.
Yeah.
And that's what everyone can do to support. And know that HAWC is here to support you. Our 24-hour hotline is a great way to call and ask questions like that, or to give that number to someone you're supporting. And I'd love to tell everyone that's 1-800-547-1649.
What was that number again?
Yeah, we'll give it to you again, 1-800-547-1649.
And I like the point that you just brought up, that I would think that number would be used by people who are in a domestic violence situation and they're calling for help, but it can be for someone who is looking for a way to help someone else and to ask the general questions. What should I do? How should I open up to them? What questions should I ask them, etc. So that's an excellent point.
Great.
Now, I hear you have a big event coming up. Is that correct?
We sure do. So the 30th annual Walk for HAWC is coming up on June 5th. From 10 to 2 on the Salem Common, and we're so excited. There's going to be magic. There's going to be all the fun things. It is a walk and a 5K run this year. So if you've been training and want to get some exercise, so stroll it, walk it, run it. It's going to be a great day to raise critical funds to support survivors on the North Shore and the services that HAWC provides. There'll be a pet parade. If you have an adorable pet, bring your pet. There'll be sandwiches provided by Kelly's Roast Beef, coffee by Atomic Coffee. There'll be kids races, and the Good Witch of Salem will be there, and lots of other community businesses. So
that's great. So
come on out.
You put your event together based on all the things people did during the pandemic. So they went out and bought treadmills because they were stuck at home, and so now they can they're in great condition and can go for the walk or the run. They went out and bought a pet because they were home all day. So now they can bring them for the pet parade.
Now you get to show them off. You don't have to just have them on Zoom. You can show them off in person. We're going to have a pet parade.
And the kids that were cooped at home have all this excess energy, so now they can go out and participate as well. That's great.
Exactly. And there's a virtual option if you can't join us on June 5th. And I'm really excited to share that we have currently a donor matching every dollar raised now through the end of the weekend. So if you can support HAWC, support the Walk for HAWC, your dollar is going to be matched dollar for dollar up to $20,000.
Wow, that is absolutely excellent. That is great news. And that's through this weekend. Is that through Monday or Sunday?
Through Sunday.
Through Sunday. Great. So go to their website, get online, make a donation, come to the event, and support them that way. All wonderful ways to extend your help to people that you don't even know, but definitely can use your help, and definitely thank HAWC for doing such a wonderful job in everything you do.
Thank you so much.
Sarah, thanks for coming. I know you're here often, and so keep telling the people all about it and keep doing the wonderful work you do.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming. David, over to you.
Thank you, John. I'm here with Maureen from the Danvers People to People Food Pantry. Maureen, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again.
Absolutely. So I would love it, I guess, if you could start off just by talking a little bit about, what is the food pantry as well as who qualifies for it?
Sure. The Danvers Food Pantry is a wonderful place where people who are in need can get groceries. You do not need to income qualify. If you're a Danvers resident, you're welcome to come and shop, as we call it, and there's plenty of shelving and plenty of groceries, just like a store. It's a smaller store. And we have brand names. We have everything from Panera soups to hot dogs and hamburgers for that Memorial Day weekend coming up.
Yeah.
So it's well stocked, and we welcome anyone who has need of food, especially now where the gas prices are going high. Everything else is going up. The need is getting greater. We're seeing more and more people come in who are in need of groceries. So we welcome anyone to come in. There's no shame at all. When you need it, you need it. We have it, and we are supported by Danvers Community Council as our overarching board of directors to support us.
Awesome. And what are the current hours of operation?
We are open for shopping on Tuesday and Thursday mornings, 9 to noon, and alternate Wednesdays, the first and third Wednesday of the month, which is 4 to 6 for anyone who's working perhaps and needs to get hours after their work time.
Awesome. So
All right.
Yeah, and you mentioned how the stocks are the shelves are well stocked.
Yes.
Flipped it right there on me.
Exactly.
And I've had the opportunity of going there. I know myself and Greg have been there to film a couple PSAs, and it is. You're correct. You're not lying. I promise the people at home. So where does the food come from? I guess.
It comes from you. You've done some fundraisers for us, and we're very lucky to have you and other agencies in the town of Danvers to be so generous as to do food drives. The Postal Service, the churches, the schools, individuals. We have plenty of food drives that bring some food in. We get our general food a month from the Greater Boston Food Bank, which is about 9,000 pounds a month of food that we're getting from the Greater Boston Food Bank. Stop and Shop is a great partner of ours. We're getting food from Stop and Shop. And Danvers Fresh Marketplace is a wonderful partner of ours where we're getting our produce and things like that. So you're getting quality food when you come there. It's not just the block of cheese that people remember from the old days or whatever you might think it might be. I invite anyone to come in and check out what we've got.
Yeah, and just based off what I've seen, I would like to reinforce the last part that you said there, where it is quality food. I think, unfortunately, there can be this sort of, I don't know if reputation or stigma is right, where people just assume that it's not going to be something that's healthy for them or something that's good for them.
Right.
And that's not the case.
That's right. People often come in and they say, wow, I didn't know it was going to be like this. And I feel such pride when that happens, because I feel like I've done my job to make sure that there's food on the shelf that I would want to eat, I would want my family to eat. And we check our dates, we make sure everything's fresh and good. And there may be things that slip through every once in a while, but truly it's a great place to get food and shop, and we welcome you.
Yeah, it's what a wonderful resource to the town. So where is it located? I guess is another good question
Okay,
people would
sure.
want to know.
Well, if you put it in your GPS, you're going to go to the Sylvan Street Grill. So don't put it in your GPS. It's 12 Sylvan Street, and for some reason, people get routed to the Sylvan Street Grill. We'd love to sit down, have a beer and hot dog and French fries with you over there or something, but that's not where we're. If you're looking at the front of the town hall and you look to the left, that's Sylvan Street at the fork in the road. Just past the town hall on the left-hand side is the pantry. It's a big tan Victorian that's next to the barn-shaped Methodist church. So that's where we are, and come on in and see us, even if you want to just check it out.
Yeah, it's not far from our studio as well. It's literally, I don't know, less than a minute down the road, honestly.
Right.
And it's such a wonderful resource to the town.
And I don't want to just put this out there because I'll be inundated, but if someone is ashamed or embarrassed, I welcome them to call me, talk to me. If you want to come in, I will open the doors for you when no one's in there. You can see what it's like. And I think once you see what it's like, you realize, oh, this is not something that I should be ashamed of. This is a great place to get food, and it's good food.
Yeah, and that's a theme that I've heard a couple times tonight, and it is great just how we have these organizations providing spaces where people can feel safe, right? They can feel welcome. They don't necessarily feel like they need to hide or just be ashamed, as you said.
Exactly. It's more than canned goods. We have frozen goods. We have frozen meats, chicken, hamburger, hot dogs, roast pork, sausages, you name it, we've got it. We get some of our meats from McKinnon's, which is great.
Yeah.
Everyone loves McKinnon's.
Yeah.
And we're very, very happy with what we're proud of what we've got. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
All right. So one of the reasons Maureen is a wonderful person as well, she's involved with the Senior Center here in town. So I was wondering if you could just kind of introduce us as to what the Senior Day program is.
Sure. Now, the Senior Center is a wonderful place, and no one thinks they're a senior, so, they don't want to come.
Yeah.
But let's put it that way. I'm not old enough to go there. I'm not this or that. But let me tell you, it's an incredible place. I mean, I'm telling you, if I didn't work there, I would want to stop what I was doing and go do the things that everyone can have the opportunity of doing at the Senior Center. There's dancing programs, there's cards, there's mahjong, there's bocce ball, there's painting, there's all sorts of things. One of the most interesting programs that we have, I think, and it's really one of the most helpful programs I'm proud of in the Senior Center is the Social Senior Day program. The Social Senior Day program is for anyone who might be shut in, has lack of companionship, things like that. You might have you're living with your family and you're starting to have some memory issues or troubles like that, so you don't feel safe to go out by yourself or whatever. Our van will come and get you, bring you to the day program. It's 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. We serve good food. We cook it ourselves there. So food's a theme, isn't it, though?
Yeah, no, it is.
And we have breakfast. We have a snack. We have luncheon, and people get to play games. I sit at my desk, and when I hear the hooting and hollering, it sounds like some Vegas club or something like that, but it's usually the social seniors down there having games and having a great time. They do things like horse races and basketball things for gross motor skills and all sorts of things like that help you keep you tuned up.
Yeah, there's so much going on. I mean, the times I've been there, one time there was at least a couple times I've gone there. There's been a band playing in the main sort of cafeteria space, the kitchen area.
Yep.
And it's just there's really so much going on. So if somebody is at home and they don't want to claim to be a senior, or maybe they're just somebody who potentially wants to help out or volunteer, who do they contact? What's the best way to get
Okay,
in
so
touch?
if you're interested in volunteering at the Senior Center, you want to call Kathy Andre at the Senior Center. If you want to talk about the pantry, you can call me also at the Senior Center. It's the most reliable number I have. We're looking for strong-armed people right now because when we unload that 9,000 pounds of food, it's really helpful to have people with us in stocking the shelves. And as far as the Social Senior Day program, some of the aides there are paid. Most of the aides are paid, and that's a job that if anyone's interested, and we are also looking for van drivers. So I'll put my plug in for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is the time to do that. So.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Well, Maureen, thank you so much for stopping by. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thank you for all you do for the Danvers community.
And likewise, right back at you. What you do for us is wonderful. You get the word out, and that's what counts. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. So
Thank
I'm going
you.
to send it over to
Thanks,
John
everyone.
now.
Thank you, David. I am joined here on my side of the studio by a woman that I've known for 20, maybe 30 years. I don't know. 25. We'll cut it in half. 25 years. Lucia from the Danvers Lions Club, which is a great service organization here in town. We are lucky that Danvers has 3 service organizations, but we're here to talk about the Danvers Lions Club. So please tell us all about them.
The Danvers Lions Club. Well, it was started in 1939, and it's been going ever since. It was sponsored by the then Salem Lions Club, and then in turn, Salem kind of teetered out, and somewhere around the 90s, we restarted another Salem Lions Club. So that's how it goes. The organization itself is worldwide. We were told that it's the largest civic organization in the world. I'm sorry. Running.
Okay. It can be the largest.
Kiwanis is with us as far as I'm concerned, and Rotary. They are civic. We're involved in the community. It was started in 1917 by an insurance salesman, Melvin Jones, in Chicago, Illinois. And he said that business leaders and businessmen, and then later on, just any individual around, should join and do, give back to the community, which is what we try to do.
Yeah.
And that's what we try to do. And our logo, if you ever see it, our sign is a huge circle There's a lion looking this way roaring, and there's a lion looking that way roaring. And what they're doing is they're roaring at the past. Okay, we're all done. We did the best we can do. Over here, they're roaring at the future. Look out. Here we come. So, and our motto is we serve.
Yes, indeed, you do serve. And that's the first time I've heard that about the logo. I've seen
Yeah.
it, like I said, probably 25 years.
Yeah.
And you collect eyeglasses. And that's
Yes,
the
we
most
do.
visible part of that logo is you see them all over the place. These little yellow mailboxes.
Yes,
that are
they have the
eyeglass
mailboxes, and we collect eyeglasses, and they are refurbished. They have a machine in this district that matches up the prescription, whatever it is, and then they are sent out to places that are needed. For instance, like Haiti. I imagine now a lot of them will be going to the Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
And it is international. There are Lions clubs over there now aiding the Ukrainian people, and that's how it works. The thing with the eyes is because of Helen Keller. In 1925, we had our first international convention as the Lions Club was started in Windsor Loch in Canada. So it became international. They had the first international convention, and Helen Keller spoke. And she asked us to become the Knights of the Blind. And that's what we are. So in Massachusetts, we have Massachusetts Lions Eye Research Fund, where money goes in conjunction with the schools and the hospitals around. Research is done to develop ways to combat blindness, prevent blindness, help blindness. We have the Perkins School for the Blind. We don't have it, the Lions, but we are supporters of it. And that's what it is. And of course, once the eyes and everything like that is going, of course they do things in the community. Many have, we do scholarships. We do our famous Thanksgiving meals. That is one of my proudest things. Ron Sapino, who has been a member for a long, long time of Sapino's Restaurant, this will be his 40th year. On Thanksgiving, Ron Sapino will buy. He will get all the meals ready, and he will package them for us on Thanksgiving morning, and the Lions will deliver right around noontime on Thanksgiving Day. He has been doing this since 1982.
Wow. Good for him.
And all we do is show up to deliver it. He is just wonderful. The other thing that we do is we do Christmas meals too. And with a little bit of generosity from other people. And so on Christmas Day, we will gather at the senior center. Well, during COVID, they were prepackaged. And we just picked them up at the window and delivered them.
Right.
But we gather, we get the meals ready, and we add a little gift card. We try to make the Christmas pretty good. On a note, when everybody was staying in the motels in Danvers, that particular year, Ron Sapino did 266 meals.
Wow. That is, so that is so good to hear.
That is what we do, yeah.
Yeah, not only are the service organizations, especially the Lions Club, trying to help as many people as they can, but then you have individuals who would go unnamed if it wasn't for something like this, who do so much to help so many.
I know a lot of people say to me, what do you have, stock in the restaurant? It's not that. It's just that I like to see them get the recognition.
Absolutely.
Have a wonderful, it's smaller now. Because of different things, people are not joining, especially young ones, these organizations. And so membership is always a key thing.
Well, let's get some new members for the Lions Club then.
Well, and then we can come over and party with the Kiwanians and the
go.
Rotarians.
As opposed to once a year on St. Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Or St. Patrick's Day, St. Patrick's Day. Okay, so go to their website, inquire about becoming a member, and I think you meet in the evenings, correct?
We do. We've gone now to, we met last night.
Oh, there you go.
And we got our donations ready because we have a district advisory meeting coming on, which I'm sure you understand too. And so on June 13th, we will be giving to the peace poster, to the Mass Lion's Eye research and things like that. That is another successful thing we've done in Danvers for the last 3 years is peace poster. My secretary, Bill Graham, who's also a member of the inclusion committee and everything else, he goes out to the junior high, and we run a peace poster contest. They draw beautiful posters that if people followed this, there would be peace in the world. And then they're submitted to the district, then they go on to the state. We haven't had any, but sometimes they make international, you know.
That's great. Very good. So great seeing you again.
Yeah, you
and,
too, John.
Yeah, and have a wonderful summer. And like I said, good
You
luck with
too.
everything you do. And seriously, go on their website, become a member.
Yeah.
Lucia, have a great
Thanks
night.
again for having us.
Pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Over to you, David. And Ben.
Hey, thank you, John. What a fun little tidbit about the logo earlier. I had no idea. Well, hey, that's the more you know, right? All right, so I'm here with Mr. Ben Thomas, a DCAT employee, if you haven't seen his face around the office. Ben, welcome to Community Connections.
Thank you. It's my first time on the show.
Yeah, first time, long time, right? Caller, listener sort of situation. All right.
Been to everyone, but
yeah,
I've never been on the show.
So if you are not familiar with Ben's specific role here at DCAT, he's the education coordinator. I guess I don't know if you want to start off trying to talk about what it is you do on the side of education. I touched on it a little bit earlier, but I know you can give a little more thorough answer than I can.
Yep. So I work with the Danvers Public School System and all the other schools in Danvers, just helping them make videos, doing stuff with the students at the schools, stuff like that. Yeah, and we've got obviously because of the pandemic, we weren't able to do that many education things, but now we're starting up again and doing a lot of fun stuff. Yeah, so this is the end of the school year, so we've got we've got some concerts for pretty much all the schools. We'll be on site to film all of those, so look out for those on our channel. We also have Scholarship Night, which is June 8th at 6 p.m., which we'll be broadcasting on our channel, and Graduation, which is on June 10th at 10 a.m. I forgot to write down the date. I just wrote down the time, so I think it's either the 10th or the 11th, but we'll be live streaming that on Facebook or YouTube.
It's the Saturday. That's
it's
the key
the
part.
Saturday after Scholarship Night. But yeah, and right now we're doing the after-school program. I did a session at Smith School a couple months ago. We're at Riverside right now. I think that's going to be it just because it's almost the end of the school year, but next year we're looking to do at least 2 sessions at a time, do all the schools, have a lot of fun.
Yeah, the after-school programs, they're a lot of fun. I've had the opportunity to help out Ben on a couple classes here or there. There's a good variety in there, right? It's not, for example, like one day Ben will spend a session where we have our iPads and we make different iPad trailer-based movies. They actually take the camera itself, so they're not just they're using the actual equipment that we use on actual film sites. And Ben's teaching them how to do everything from how to zoom, right, how to tilt the camera, pan the camera, how to record. I know this most recent Smith School session I helped out, and we made an actual movie where there was 2 sessions I touched on, and it was actually really cool. So the session on Tuesday filmed one half of the movie, and then the session on Thursday filmed the other half. And then when we had the actual pizza party here in the studio, for the first time, if I remember correctly, the kids actually got to see kind of how the 2 parts melded together and created one cohesive piece, which was, I think, it's the first time you've done something like that, if I remember correctly.
Yes, it is, and I think it gave kids an idea of like how editing works. Of like, we don't all have to be together to film all this at the same time. We can put it all together and make a pretty cool movie that I think everybody else enjoyed.
Yeah, and during the actual filming too, there's delegation, so there's different roles, which is something that if you're not familiar with, there's more than just kind of who's holding the camera and who's acting or kind of presenting on the actual the other side of the lens. We had people kind of be the actual director, people kind of just like being the actual talent filming. So there is something for everyone to do in those sort of circumstances.
Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of different roles for people to be in. Like right now we've got Greg and Ethan directing and doing audio. Jeff, who was was part of the after school program or was part of a camp and now is helping us with this show. So there's lots of different roles that you can do in video production that you can learn, and it's pretty cool. Also, during the summer, once the school year ends, we do have a couple of camps coming up over the summer. So those are July 18th to the 22nd is our video game camp, it's a YouTube video game camp. So we teach kids about how to enhance their YouTube videos and to do video game stuff that kids like to do that us old men don't really understand. But trying to show them how to enhance their videos and make them cool and stuff. Usually David does a whole thing about video games because he's hip and I'm not.
Yeah, as Ben just called me an old man, I am an old man who actually plays video games, and
I say I'm an old man who just let the time pass him by.
Yeah, you should see Ben just kind of sitting with a rocking chair and a piece of
be playing Pong this year.
Yeah. So it's a great opportunity, right? Because a video game may be in the title of the actual camp. It's more than just kind of hanging out. You're actually doing stuff. You are, as we touched on before, kind of with the after-school programs. You're learning how to use the different camera elements. You're learning kind of what goes into editing, and it's a lot of fun.
Yep. So one of the things we do is we do like a Super Smash Brothers tournament, but we have announcers, we have people running the cameras, so it's not just playing video games. It's learning the whole exercise of a whole production, and like they do on professional video game tournaments and stuff, where it's a whole production.
Yeah, the esports in particular has really taken off over the last handful of years, and it's genuinely its own sort of tournament, its own production. There's professional players, which is something I think surprises a lot of people. There are people who play video games for a living, and there are people who stream for a living, who kind of they're on these websites, YouTube, Twitch, whatever it may be, actually earning a living as well as producing content. They're coming up with original content. They're providing value to folks at home or wherever they're watching from, going to a camp like this is a great way to get started. It's a great way to kind of get your feet wet, even for young kids, because what we find, especially if you watch different esports, as myself as an old man does, you find a lot of times the talent can be younger, right? Because they're playing quicker games, playing fast games. So going to a camp like this is really just a great way to introduce yourself to all of that.
Yeah, and I think I can speak for. I don't want to speak for Jeff, but I think Jeff would say that he had a great time during the camp. And this year we did a different camp, and they kept asking about when we're going to do another video game camp. So. But also we're going to do a regular, just basic TV news camp over the summer. That is August 1st to the 5th, and both of those camps are 9 a.m. to noon. And that one is just kind of a more basic, like, studio show. We're going to do we kind of every day film different parts of a new show and then put it all together, have a lot of fun, and do lots of fun stuff.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, it's a great way to kind of come into the DCAT studio space and have some fun while learning a lot of things.
Yep. And also just wanted to mention that memberships for students and children are free. So all you have to do is just have your parents sign a piece of paper, and then you come in and learn whatever equipment you want. The thing I always say is, once you learn the equipment at DCAT, you can do a show about whatever you want. If you want to do an hour show about ketchup, live your dream, go for it. So the sky's the limit. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, and also if you're doing a school project and you want to do a video, teachers like that. So you can use our equipment to do school projects and get A's, which is always fun.
Yeah, so reach out. Anything education related. I'm sure you can find Ben at danverstv.org. Give us a phone call as well. He's available.
Yep.
And we'll be happy to answer any questions you have.
Yep.
All right. Let's send it over to John. Looks like we have a reoccurring guest. Is that allowed?
Sure it is.
Yeah, I told you she wears many, many hats, and so luckily this is Gayla. You all know Gayla, and she is not only a Kiwanian, but she is the governor of the New England and Bermuda District Kiwanis organization.
Right.
So welcome.
Thank you.
So let's start small. Let's talk about the Danvers Kiwanis Club, which is not small, but it's smaller than the whole district.
Right.
And then you can tell us about what's going on in the district.
Sure. So Danvers Kiwanians have been in Danvers for a good 60-something years right now, and COVID obviously for nonprofits has been difficult, especially volunteer organizations, and getting people back out to service has been a very interesting obstacle that we've had to conquer as a district and as a local Danvers Kiwanis Club. I'm excited to say that we will be bringing back our wonderful pancake breakfast.
Good.
Yes. People have been asking for it. Our Kiwanians are ready to serve their pancakes. And the duck race will be back, but it's going to be probably in a different format than you're used to. As you
now,
can
didn't you have that virtually during the pandemic?
We did,
yeah.
and it might be virtual again. It was actually really kind of cool. It was fun. The duckies didn't necessarily go in the water, but they went in the spin thing, so they got a spin wash. It was great. But it was interesting. So we're going to try to do things differently this year in Kiwanis. Starting in September, we will October 1st, we're definitely going to put a little twist on some of the service projects. We have started our night meetings, which I'm very excited about. In fact, June 1st, which is the first Wednesday, we will be meeting at, is it the Magi?
Magia.
Magia, thank you.
Magia.
I thought it meant magic.
No, well, it does I think it does, it can mean magic.
Okay.
But the name is derived from the owner's two children.
Okay.
Mario and Gia, I
Love
believe.
it. So we will be meeting there at 6 o'clock, and our service project will actually be in conjunction with the Peabody Kiwanis Club. So they have joined forces with us on our night meetings, and we're going to be making pride bags for the NAGLI kids.
Great.
So we're very excited about that. I approached the new executive director. So when you talk about Kiwanis, you talk about kids, and you talk about kids who need Kiwanis. Your NAGLI kids are kids that are in sometimes in situations where they need that extra help, that extra love. So we're going to make the pride bags for their dance.
Nice.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
And we will have the executive director come and speak to us. We've made Mother's Day bags that went to Citizens Inn, and they were given to the children to give to their moms. So we're back in full swing when it comes to night meetings, which
That's
is
great.
huge. And the service part, which is why I joined Kiwanis. I'm not one to listen to people speak. I want to do service.
So two different kinds of meetings. They still
Yep.
have the meetings on Tuesdays
do.
at noon over at
Lunch meetings.
at Danvers Port.
Right.
And those are networking, socialization. There's usually a speaker so that it's educational for you. And then the night meetings are more geared around a particular service project. Something is being done while you
Right.
after you have dinner.
Right.
And a
Which is-
cocktail or two.
Yeah, which is great because we've noticed and I've noticed as governor going through the district that a day meeting doesn't work for everybody.
Right.
There are even Kiwanis clubs, which are satellite clubs that do everything online.
Yeah.
So you can be anywhere, and if you don't feel comfortable going out or you don't have the time, they actually do online service projects. They mail the things to each other, and they do things for an organization, which is great.
Yeah.
Kiwanis actually had started before COVID. So I want to say that Kiwanis was on the cutting edge of this Zoom thing, which is nice. So we've been out there, and we've noticed that some clubs want to meet just at night. Some are breakfast clubs. Some meet once a month. So it's really depends on what your community wants
Right.
and what your members want.
Right.
And the needs change. We used to meet every single Tuesday. Now we meet twice a month.
Yep.
So it really depends on everybody's time commitment and financial situation. But Kiwanis is definitely evolving into different things than it used to be, which is wonderful.
Yep, absolutely, and the key being service. That's the whole reason the organization exists, is to and Kiwanis focuses on children. So the whole reason they exist is to provide service and fundraising to do that service. So that's excellent.
Yeah, it's been huge. And this year, as governor, I decided that I didn't want to have the traditional governor's dinners, which is when you go to all these different divisions, you have a dinner, you make a speech. Yeah, I like to talk, but that's not me. I wanted to do service.
She's so shy.
I'm so shy. But so, in fact, we did a service project last weekend. I went out to Winchton or Winchester, and I painted a YMCA with the Kiwanians.
Oh, nice.
I've done food packing, we've food packaged meals. We've made 33,000 we packed in Connecticut with 90 volunteers, which is huge. We just did 33,000 on the Cape. So
Wow.
we are all, or 10,000. We are everywhere doing different things. I'm doing service everywhere I go, which is huge, and that's what I wanted to do. I did a women's build for Habitat, which was where I got some of my lieutenant governors together and Kiwanis members from Danvers, and we worked on our women's build. So bringing the Kiwanians out of COVID back into service was my push, and also fundraising for local organizations as well. So I've been doing HAWC, which you talked to Sarah.
Yeah.
We've been raising money for HAWC through my campaign, Family Children's Services out of Salem, Mass., which is mental health awareness, and also the Children's Fund, which is Kiwanis International, and Kiwanis Foundation, which is the pediatric side of our district as
Right.
well.
That's excellent. You're just so busy.
So busy.
So busy, doing so much. Well, thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
And I hope you get to go to Bermuda soon. And
I went virtually. We had to go virtually. I went virtually a couple weeks ago. It was wonderful. I didn't even get jet lagged.
And how long do you have in your term still?
So I will be done September 31st.
So you got to get there quick. August is a great time to go. We went to Bermuda for our anniversary, or our wedding, actually, our honeymoon.
Wasn't it hot?
No, it was perfect.
Really?
It was
Okay.
August 31st to the first week of September, and it was perfect.
Good.
So go then.
Okay.
But again,
excited.
Danvers Kiwanis Club, go to the website, find out what they
Yes.
do, get involved. partake of the pancake breakfast, the duck race. It's all good stuff.
And a lot of new things. We're going to work on some new things next year, too. So
That's excellent.
You never know what the Danvers Kiwanis Club's going to come up with.
Excellent.
Very
Kayla,
exciting.
thanks so much for coming in, and
Thank you.
thanks for all you do. Over to you, David.
So this coming Monday, this will be the annual Town of Danvers Memorial Day event. And for more information, we're going to send it to a PSA made by our own Ethan Lally.
The 2022 annual Danvers Memorial Day Parade and Town Hall ceremony will take place this year on Monday, May 30th, with the parade starting at 9 a.m. and the Town Hall ceremony occurring at approximately 10 a.m. upon completion of the parade. Richard Greenlaw, a U.S. Army veteran, was selected to be the 2022 Grand Marshal. The parade, starting from Town Hall at 9 a.m. sharp, will follow the traditional route of previous years. Stops and placement of wreaths will be at the Porter Cemetery on High Street and the Memorial Flagpole site in Danvers. All Danvers veterans are invited to march in the parade in their civilian capacity. The Memorial Day ceremony will take place in front of Town Hall upon parade completion. The Danvers High School Marching Band and Chamber Singers will perform. Guest speaker will be Reverend Michael J. Doyle, a military chaplain. The public is invited to attend this ceremony honoring all veterans.
That was a great PSA, and I'm glad that we put that together. I hope everybody goes out that's on Monday, right, David? On Monday, yeah. I knew it was for Memorial Day, just sometimes we move things around. So please participate in that if you can. I'm joined by David McKenna and Laura from the Danvers Historical Society. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. So great to have you here. So Society's History Week program for the third graders in school is in its 36th year. Is that correct?
I believe it's correct. It's been long before I got involved. We got some very dedicated people who've been working in this program probably that long.
Yeah.
And Sheila is retired and looking to start phasing herself out of it, looking for volunteers to help out with us. So anybody who has a background in education or history and wants to come down and volunteer, we're doing some programs next week, I believe, that people can come down and see what's going on, see if it's something they feel they would be a good fit for.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. So the third grader, the Danvers History Week and the third grader involvement is such a wonderful program because I think history, especially in town, is so easily overlooked. Yeah. That everybody's got their focus on Little League or sports or whatever they're doing, going away to camps, et cetera, and so easy to forget about the history of Danvers. And Danvers is so rich with history. It's a shame that Salem got all the witch information and the rich history there.
Well, it really happened here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
when we were part of Salem at the time, we seceded to become our own town, and they kept all the history, and we got to become Danvers, even though the king was unwilling. And are we still selling flowers? Is there a flower sale going on now?
The flower sale was this past weekend, and it was quite successful. You had a good crowd of people come in, and a lot of people bought flowers and other doodads for their gardens, and I think everybody was quite pleased with it.
That's excellent. That is excellent. So what is going on in particular right now that the Historical Society is excited about?
Well, we just
had tonight's event at the Page House unveiling a marker celebrating Ann Page's efforts with the suffrage movement. And of course,
hence the banner, Vote for Women.
That's right. So we had 85 people show up, and they're still there enjoying themselves. It's long overdue to recognize Ann Page and all she did for early childhood education, abolition, and suffrage.
Wow. So what type of event was it? What did you do? Was it a fundraising event or just
no? It was
educational?
just we put up a new plaque, which was donated to us by the suffrage 2,100 MA group that's been working in this project statewide, I guess nationwide probably. and they've awarded 5 plaques from Massachusetts so far. And Danvers got the first one for Ann Page.
Wow.
Who was integral in that movement.
Yeah, that is awesome. It really is. Yeah.
And it's just people just get involved in things, and you don't think you're making a difference, but every little thing that someone does makes a ripple effect someplace, and the ripples get bigger and bigger and bigger, and pretty soon you've made history.
Yep.
And you've made the world a better place than it was.
And
when
it's
you
funny
came
that you
into
say
it.
that, because throw a rock in a pond and you see the ripples starting to go out. And eventually where you threw the rock becomes smooth again. It no longer is seeing a ripple there, but the ripples are continuing further and further out into the pond. So you think whatever your contribution was, whether it was financially or physically or emotionally, you think that's long over and you're done helping. But the ripple that you started to create continues to go out and continues to make change, which is a wonderful, wonderful thing.
But we have a lot of other things going on too. Anybody who's driven by the Page House recently has seen the deplorable condition it's been in, because the society just has not had the money to do these things. And of course, the last 2 years of pandemic killed our wedding business, and we thought we were going to go broke, but we managed to scrape by, and we just had a big fundraiser. We raised almost $100,000.
That is excellent.
And we're just awarded a contract to repair the Page House and restore it to its original glory. Replace the windows, replace the dormers, put a new roof on it, and paint the building, and get it looking good again.
That is excellent.
And we're working on the shoe shop out back. We've done some work on that, strictly with volunteers. Jack Rybicki has led the effort on that. He's a fellow who runs the You Knew You Grew Up in Danvers page on Facebook. Been a big help on these things. We're getting ready to start. Well, we've been for a couple of years now working on trying to get the Glen Magna up to code. We run into issues with the town that, because the society supposedly changed the use when they bought it, the town still had it listed as a single-family residence and said we can't use it for events or functions until we bring it up to code to make it a business use or an assembly use. I'm questioning that, but we're working with them to try to figure out what we have to do, what we don't have to do. If we do everything they tell us we had to do, we're looking at almost $1 million in cost. And we get no money from the town on these things. We did get a small grant from some of the Nine Spires funds that was left with the town when the state hospital was redeveloped. But other than that, we're on our own raising funds for these things, and you were involved for years ago. You know how difficult it is.
Absolutely, I do. Yep.
It's a struggle.
Yep.
But we're plugging away at it, and we're making small strides and getting things done that need to be done.
Excellent. Good work. So again, go to the website, see how you can get involved, see how you can help fundraise, help contribute, participate in some of their events, and learn about the history of Danvers. It is so, so rich, and you will be so glad you did. And thanks, guys, for everything you do and continuing to help out. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us on. Their website is danvershistory.org.
Yep, and it's right on screen. So.
It's right on screen, too. Yep. Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
Pleasure.
Seeing you again.
Yeah, good
Take
seeing
care.
you as well.
Okay.
Have a great night.
You too. Bye-bye.
David, over to you.
Thank you, John. Yeah, I've had the opportunity to work with, I know, Laura on a couple of different projects. I know they film the speaker series every month, things like that, and it really is a great resource to the town. So I just want to send my applause and thank yous to Laura for stopping by. All right, John, so I know we started the program tonight on that side. I was wondering if you could kind of swing over here and just take a moment and just come on over to this side while we announce our departure for the evening. It's been a blast, and would you look at that, the wonders of TV magic. I know many at home assumed John and I were in two different locations miles apart. Well, maybe we were, maybe we weren't. I'm not gonna, so I guess just as a sort of just a quick briefing, what is one of your biggest takeaways from this evening tonight?
All the good that gets done in town that people don't even know about. That all these organizations that we talk to go about their business helping people, creating change, raising funds to do magical things with, and most of the time, unless you're involved with that organization, you don't even know that it's going on. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. I once looked for a project that I was doing for the Kiwanis Club at all the volunteer organizations. Back when there were phone books, they used to list all the volunteer nonprofit organizations in the front of the book. And it was amazing how many of them there were. And so that's really what struck me, is that there's so many ways to get involved here in town to help your own community. You don't have to look very far. And so anything that appeals to you, whether it's the people that were on tonight or other organizations that you may know of that were not on tonight, for example, another service organization, the Danvers Rotary Club. Like I said, we're blessed to have 3 service organizations here in town, all doing good works. So any nonprofit organization that you know about, I'm sure they have a website. Look at it, see if there's a way that you can contribute, that you can help out with some time and energy or money and make a difference here in Danvers.
Yeah, you talked about that the ripple effect earlier when you were talking to the Historical Society, and I just really want to sort of just bring that point at home for folks who are watching, because it's true, right? You may think that that's sort of like the one thing you did, whether it's in person, monetary value, or just providing your emotional support, that can go a long way.
Yeah.
It really can.
Yeah.
The one thing I really love about tonight, and my favorite question is always, what do you enjoy most about the organization you work with? Like, what do you love about why are you doing this? And you can really hear the passion in their voice, right? Because a lot of these folks, for some of them, they're volunteers, so they're not necessarily getting paid for this.
Right.
And even if you are, you can just hear, because they talk about it with such ease. Anytime I'm helping somebody film a program here in our studio for the first time, it's always obvious to me, and I always say, like, if you know what you're talking about, the half hour that you're filming for is going to go by in 2 minutes.
Absolutely.
Because it's going to feel so easy. And you can see that with a lot of the people we interviewed tonight, is it says 5 minutes, and a lot of people who do come to the sets, they haven't been on TV necessarily before, and you can kind of see they have that sort of nervous tension, and then they get talking in the 5 minutes, and all of a sudden Jeff here in front of us is giving us like, we got to wrap it up, we got 1 minute left. Because it is easy for them to talk about, because they are passionate.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right. And like Lucia, for example, she could have been the historian for the entire Lions organization. She knew so much information. Yeah. That's how passionate and how long she's been involved with that organization. So you're right. It's not just something that she goes to dinner once a month and meets with some friends. There is a lot of passion involved there. So that's excellent.
Yeah. Well, John said it earlier, and I just really want to reinforce, if you are interested in any of the organizations tonight, this is going to be live on YouTube, or it's going to be on YouTube to rewatch again. So if you need to catch a website or a phone number that you may have missed, feel free to rewind and go back to that. And until next time, though, John, thank you so much for stopping by and helping us film this program tonight.
Always a pleasure. And I'm going to ask DCAT to do something in addition to that. As I said, a lot of organizations couldn't make it here tonight. We have all their names because we sent out invitations to them. I hope the DCAT will put that list of organizations up on our website, so that, or at the end of this program perhaps, so that you can see all the different volunteer opportunities and maybe go to their website and see how you might be involved.
Perfect. Well, it's a wonderful idea, and I think it's definitely something we should do.
Excellent. Very good.
All right. Well, until next time, Danvers.